Welcome to a Health and Hope testimony event. You might be here trying to find out what is Plexus about. Maybe you're looking for a little dose of inspiration. Whatever the reason is, I'm excited that you're here, giving us 30 minutes, hearing stories from really different women coming from different walks of life. My name's Jennifer Leith. I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I've been with the company, 5.5 years. And it's because I'm still in love with what I do. I'm still in love with the products that I take. I still very much feel so much gratitude for the story that I have. I'm going to share with you really quick, maybe like a minute and a half, and then I'm just going to introduce you to these 5 different amazing women. When I started Plexus, our financial situation, it was abysmal in every possible way. We had 4 children, could not pay all the bills, struggled to buy groceries. I don't know if you're at all relating to this, but if you are, I understand you. Money can be such an incredible burden. It's definitely hard on marriages. It definitely causes a lot of fear. And for me, I had a lot of shame because I had a college degree. I felt like I had the ability to provide more, but I wanted to be home. I wanted to homeschool. I'm actually in my homeschool room right now, which is why you see all of these addition facts and all of those things on the wall. But that's my passion. And Plexus has allowed me that passion. And that's allowed me to provide for my family. And that's allowed me to have the best health that I've ever had. And of course, it's what you make of it. Our products and our opportunity, it's really up to you. And everyone uses the products and the opportunity as much or as little as they want. But the stories that are created are real. We can't make guarantees of what you hear tonight. I can't say to you, this is going to happen to you. But gosh, what if it did? What if that could be your story too? So I'm excited to introduce you to Allie Sullivan. She's going to share her story. And the goal of this is everyone's looking for a bridge to take them from where they are now to where they want to be, whether that's with their health. Maybe they're tired of being tired. Maybe they're tired of feeling that feeling of anxiety and worry and being overwhelmed. Maybe they're tired of worrying about their health or their spouse's health. Maybe they're tired of not being able to pay their bills on time. Or maybe they just want to put their kids in ballet. Whatever it is, everyone's looking for a bridge. And that bridge could be Plexus. For me, it was, and for these other women, it was. So you listen, you decide if it's a fit for you. And let's hear Allie's story. Allie, take it away.
Hi. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Cool. So thank you so much for just asking me to share. So my name is Allie, and I have been taking Plexus for like 1 year, and I have 4 kids, and I was homeschooling when I started Plexus. And I will just tell you that for me, Plexus has been the vehicle that God has used to get me unstuck when I didn't even realize how stuck I was. So like I said, I was homeschooling. I also work part-time at a church doing youth ministry, and I love anything health, wellness, and fitness. But I had 4 babies, and I was exhausted all the time. I hadn't slept one full night since my 3rd was born, and I was just so tired. Now, I love learning about health and wellness. So my husband and I had actually been researching gut health for an entire year when we had a friend talk to us about Plexus. And basically, it was God's timing. Like, he just knew this is what you guys need right now. And the timing was perfect. So I jumped in, and I said to my husband, let's get our products covered. And he said, you know what, Allie, you need to go for this. This is something you could do. This is something you've always been passionate about, health and wellness. And maybe this is a wheelhouse, like this is in your wheelhouse. So maybe this is just something that you can do to just kind of test that out and see what you want to pursue in this. Well, I knew that it was going to be good for us because I know gut health is good for you, but I didn't realize just how good I would feel and how much it would change everything, really. So the first month that I started Plexus, I jumped right in. The very first day, I stopped getting afternoon headaches. I was able to actually start literally take the earbud out of my ear. So I was so overwhelmed by all the things that I was doing that I would literally have earbuds in all the time, and I would have some kind of show or something on to literally numb my mind. I know that sounds like so crazy, but I became like addicted to Netflix, and I sat there in a place of like, where am I going? I have big dreams and big passions. I want to help people, and I want to homeschool my kids. I want to lead them in a good direction. And I just felt like where am I going? I'm so stuck in just my everyday, and I was overwhelmed, and I was tired, and I wasn't able to do the things I loved. And so I would just listen to shows on Netflix. I would watch shows in order to not have to face reality, basically. So that first day that I took the pink drink and I didn't get a headache in the afternoon, I was like, wait a second. Okay, something is different here. I feel different. And within the first week, I actually ended up losing a few pounds of baby weight that I hadn't been able to get off with like diet and exercise. And I just felt good. I was able to throw away my kids' Halloween candy stash that I had been hiding and eating all the Kit Kats out of. And that was my weakness. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. So I kept going. I kept researching and looking into things. And I started to realize how much this stuff was the real deal and how many people were finding help through this. And I was like, I have to tell people. I have to tell people about this. Not only that, I just started reconnecting with friends. My friend Amber, who told me about this, we played basketball together in middle school. And I reconnected with her. I met these friends who just were so encouraging and so supportive of me and being like, listen, like, what do you love to do? What are the fears that you're facing? What are the things that you need to, that you want to tap back into? And they gave me the courage to look at this health and wellness thing and think, well, I'm in ministry and this is what I'm doing, and say, no, this is something I'm passionate about, to help people, and that this is changing people's lives and God is using this to help people. So I started doing that. Within a month, my own results were amazing. I no longer have an enlarged thyroid because of Plexus. I lost 15 pounds in that month, and I no longer suffer from plantar fasciitis. So I was able to start running again. And this past year, I ran my first half marathon ever, and I wore my Plexus jersey proudly to be able to say, like, this helped get rid of that inflammation in me. But even more is that it got me unstuck out of that place of, feeling so overwhelmed. I used to have this joke with my husband. If we would go on a date and we wanted to go see a movie, and I'd say, we can't see anything that's going to make me cry because my own life is just overwhelming enough. I can't take anything else. I need something that's going to make me laugh, or just where I can like escape reality a little bit. And it was like fun and funny, but it was kind of sad when I look back at it that was the place that I was stuck in. So I thank God every day that Plexus came into my life, was able to get me feeling good, get my husband feeling better. And now we're like running after our dreams full force. Just to have that come full circle. Something I've always dreamed of is leading some type of fitness class. And literally for 7 years, I have been talking about this, and I have never taken the step to even pursue it because I'm afraid. Well, what if I fail? What if I'm not good at it? Or it's going to take too long for the training. And tomorrow morning at 5:30 in the morning, I'll be leaving my house to go drive like an hour away to take a class to start getting ready for actually learning to be certified in this and training a body combat class. So I'm so excited. And literally a year ago, I would have never thought this is the place that I would be in. And so I'm just so grateful to Plexus and all the people who have come into my life through this, who have just encouraged me to just keep going. So I know I was kind of all over the place, but if I could just say one thing, it would just be, if you feel stuck in anything, stuck in your life, or like you just don't know what is to come next, and you have something you want to go after, this community and these products could be something that would help you just feel unstuck and to just keep going. So thank you, Jennifer.
Amazing, because you kind of touched on a few things that I hoped would come up tonight. And one of them is kind of getting yourself back. And I think a lot of us, especially if we're moms, we lose ourselves. And we don't know that because we're enjoying being in that mothering role. But then one day you kind of think, gosh, what happened to me? And when I started with Plexus, I kept thinking of this movie called How Stella Got Her Groove Back. I literally felt like something happened to me. Like I just felt like me again, and excited, and every day felt like an adventure. And that was what I was missing. That was what I was wanting. And I heard that in what you shared. I also heard something that really could just bring me to tears, and it's the community. How many of you guys are looking for a community of like-minded people, encouraging people, people that want you to succeed? I love that about what we do. We're not about climbing over each other's backs to get to the top. We're not about being better or a competition. What we are about is turning around, extending a hand, and pulling people up to be the very, very best version of themselves. And we don't just say that. That actually is who we are. We are a tribe of people. And I'm excited for you to hear from Rachel Bennett, because that community is really a huge part of her testimony. And I think it's going to encourage you. So here we go. Rachel Bennett. Let's see if I need to unmute her.
There we go. I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
You're good.
All right. So as Jennifer said, my name is Rachel Bennett, and I started Plexus back in March of this past year. We had been looking for something for my husband. He had all kind of health issues, and so we were just kind of desperate, and we were looking for something that fixed that. So we joined for that reason. He got help with Plexus really fast. The results for him were really quick, so that was really encouraging to us. And we began to share with family and friends, and so it just snowballed from there. Those were both surprises to us, honestly. But the thing that's been the biggest surprise to me has been the community that I found, that I really didn't know that I needed. Had it not been for the success with the products, I would have never shared the business. Had I not gotten into the business side of it, I would have never found these women that literally pour love and life into me every day. It's just been amazing, because I remember, Jennifer, you asked me back in May about the community, to talk about the community and the culture of Plexus and what I thought. And the truth was, I had seen how wonderful and like encouraging everybody was, but I hadn't really experienced the full effect of Plexus. I tell everybody there's three parts to Plexus. There's the products, there's the business, and then there's the community. And these ladies, I mean, it's funny because Allie went before me, because she's somebody that I communicate with daily. We post on each other's posts and, comment, and just, she encourages me. It's the total environment of iron sharpens iron. I mean, it's amazing. And for me, personally, beyond just the love and encouragement that I have from these ladies, has been finding a new ministry for me. I'm a homeschool mom. I have 4 girls. I stay in, and I had no idea how small my bubble had gotten. I'm kind of an introvert, so it's really easy for me to keep to just my core group of people. And when I started, trying to encourage other people about Plexus, I realized, man, I have really shut myself off from the world so much. And I'd been kind of wondering and feeling like something was missing. And I just had been praying about it for a while, like, Lord, just help me feel purpose again outside of my family and outside of my kids. And I just want to feel like I'm being used by you again. And so for me, especially in this last month, it has just been unreal to see how God has opened doors of communication. And I mean, yes, am I sharing Plexus with some of them? Of course, because so many people need it and can benefit from it. But the bigger blessing has been just the doors that have opened again with communication and just loving on people and just praying for people. I mean, just some of the messages I've got back from people, it's totally the Lord. Like, I really needed this. And so that's what I'm getting filled up from these other people, and they're pouring into me. And then I'm able to overflow that to so many other people in my life. And whether they know they need Plexus or want Plexus someday or anything like that, it's just been a huge blessing and just ministry opportunity for me. And I did have one story that I want to share. Part of the awesome part about Plexus is you can earn gifts or earn prizes and cruises and just all kinds of trips and fun stuff. It really is fun. But I was pushing for a cruise that we did with a leaders retreat. And my husband has an amazing testimony. And so I've had a lot of people contact me within Plexus wanting, asking to share it. And so this one lady, I've never met her before. I honestly don't even remember her name now. I'd have to look back. But she asked me if she could share his testimony. I was like, of course, and we talked back and forth a little bit. And she said, are you going to be at Leaders Retreat? And at that point, I kind of, wanted to go, but I hadn't really pushed to really get myself there. And I was like, I don't know, I might be there, I might not. She was like, well, I really hope you are. I just really want to sit down and talk face to face. And I look forward to meeting you. And she's like, you got this. And I thought, I hear that all the time from my team. We encourage each other and say, you got this. But to hear it from somebody that had no idea who I was beyond just being another person in Plexus and just was encouraging me in that way, I thought, man, this is beyond my team. This is truly the culture of Plexus. And it really is just such a blessing to me.
You totally 110% said all the things that I want people to know about what we are, who we are. And I'm really glad that it happens across all of Plexus. It's not just one team. And I think the goal of what we do is, yes, we offer products for blood sugar. We offer products for gut health. We offer products for inflammation. We have really great non-GMO, gluten-free products. I'm proud to share them. but I'm also equally proud that that's married to an opportunity that really helps people provide in a huge way. And I'm also glad that it's married to a community that's not about making a buck, but about making a difference. And that, to me, is what makes me super excited to get out there and really share something that people are looking for. I'm excited for you guys to hear from Daphne. Daphne is a school teacher of 25 years. She's got huge dreams with Plexus. The products have been incredible for her, and she's really, really making a difference with this opportunity as a little side hustle that who knows where that will take her in the future. So Daphne, I'm super excited to hear your story. Thanks again to Rachel and Allie. Take it away.
Hello, am I there? All right, good deal. I am a teacher and I've taught 27 years. So yes, that's okay. I've earned every bit of it. And as a teacher, I'm doing this a little differently. So I've given everybody an assignment tonight. Listen for the verb before Plexus and for the verb that applies after Plexus. And I'm going to cover several different things because I cannot pick just one thing that's been the blessing. I do feel like that the Lord just put this in my lap and it's mine to do with what I choose to, but I'm certainly not going to throw it away. It all started because I was exhausted, literally one foot in front of the other, crashing at 8:30 at night. I have 2 kids, a husband, full-time job. I was working 2 part-time jobs at the time as well. I was just exhausted, falling asleep driving, falling asleep at church. Just could not get myself together. So a friend of mine had been sort of secretly doing Plexus for a little while and finally was ready to share. And she said, Daphne, you need Plexus. I doubted it, but I tried it and she was right. And I've not looked back. And that was March of 2017. So almost 2 years. I was controlled by sugar cravings. I thought I just had no willpower, but I've learned it was since then it was candida. But I could tell you where all the best sour gummy worms were, and a lot of times I would start eating them before I even left the store. It was so bad, and it was somebody else said they were ashamed of something a while ago, and I think it was that way for me. I felt so ashamed, but it's like I couldn't help it. Not long after starting Triplex, that was relieved significantly. I still have little bouts here and there, but it does not control me anymore. And that has been huge and a money saver as well. I was miserable for years with acid reflux, and I had been on medication that was barely doing anything. It would just sort of take the edge off. It was 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, almost no relief. This one took a little patience. About 5 or 6 months into the Triplex consistently, and I reiterate consistently, I was able to finally get off acid reflux medicine. I have a little tinge of it here and there, lasts just a few minutes. In a year and a half, I've taken maybe one thing for it, and I was taking stuff for it daily and multiple things. My medicine cabinet was full of stomach stuff. I was broke. My husband and I are both teachers. I had 2 part-time jobs, as I mentioned. And I realized when I started sharing that it didn't take very long. And I was actually able to quit my 2 part-time jobs and just share Plexus, which I'd become so passionate about because it had helped me so much. And the thing I love is that this opportunity is unlimited. It's what I make it. It's up to me, whether it's big or small or somewhere in between. And that has been a huge blessing to know that I have options. As a school teacher for 27 years, sometimes I feel like that's all I can do. But I still get to use that. I get to teach people about better health and do some fun things like that. So it's tied in nicely. And I heard Allie really spoke a lot about this. I felt defeated. I don't know about everybody else, but I had my life all planned out and almost nothing went according to plan. And that takes a toll after a while. And I just felt so like, I turned 50 in October and I felt like, where is it gone? I don't know what I've done. I did nothing I really set out to do. That's not true. I've done some great things and have a good family and all that. But, those things that are personal. those things that are just for me, sort of. So I was defeated, and this has come up already twice, the community is so encouraging. I've made friends, not just business people friends, not just for business advice, but I've met friends across the country that I truly go to them for this, that, and the other and talk to them candidly, and a lot of support, a lot of encouragement, a lot of personal growth, and I've loved it. So, and I didn't even touch on weight issues and inflammation and the loss of inches and all that, because that's not even why I started. That was a nice side effect, but that wasn't why I started. And I've just been so blessed. Rachel Hollis's book, Girl Wash Your Face, she ends every chapter with what helped her. So I thought I would do that here and what's helped me. And first of all, I fought my way to consistency. I've never been consistent with anything health related in my life. So I really had to fight tooth and nail to become consistent and to really make myself stick with it and determination. I increased my water. My goal is always half the ounces in body weight of water a day. I don't get there every day, but I sure drink more water than I ever have, and no diet sodas anymore, which I lived off of. I learned early on to celebrate the detox and celebrate the die-off symptoms. That if I had not known that, I would have totally quit in the second week because I felt terrible. But instead of looking at it that way, I woohoo, I feel terrible. That means it's working. So I tried to look at it that way, and that really helped push me through. I looked at it as a celebration. I asked for help and advice. I asked for ways to tweak my program if I'm feeling stuck or whatever. Go to my sponsors when necessary. I share, even though it terrifies me, and it's gotten better. But some of the scariest things I've done have produced the greatest awards. And that has been it's almost like a high. I mean, really, it is. It's like when I do something that terrifies me to the bone, and then when I've done it, I thought, okay, I did not die from that. That's a big deal. I've been coachable with not only my sharing, but the products as well and what to do. And then I've had to be patient. I had to remind myself I did not get exhausted, acid reflux, broke, and all those things overnight. And I am surely not going to get better from it overnight. I'm still a work in progress, almost 2 years in. I still have a lot of goals, a lot of things I want to do health-wise and personally and all of that. But I've learned to be a little bit more patient and forgiving of myself. The biggest thing, I had to decide I was worth it. I'd put it off. I'd heard about it about a year before I ever tried Plexus. And I thought, well, my husband, my kids and my husband need this, and I can't do this. And I thought it would be selfish to take care of myself. I don't know why we mamas think that, but a lot of times we do. And I finally decided they deserved a better mama. My husband deserved a better wife. And I am just very, I finally decided to put myself first a little bit. And then the ironic part was it actually helped them as well. And so it's been such a blessing. And I just encourage everybody to, you have nothing to lose, to just try it, but be consistent, be dedicated, be patient, and hopefully it'll be life-changing and on so many levels for you all as well. Thank you.
I just love hearing you talk. And I don't know if that's the school teacher in you. Like, go back 2 years before Plexus. Would you have felt comfortable sharing your story in front of 70 people?
I have spoken before, but not like this, not on a personal level, not talking about me. This is new terrain for me. And this is one of those things where, I'm shaking like a leaf, but it's almost, but it's exhilarating too.
Yeah. Well, I just muted myself. I'm sorry. Back to me. It's incredible to hear someone share their journey, starting with the products, experiencing detox, which if you hear that word and it makes you go, oh my gosh, what? I don't know if I really want to experience that. Look at that word as getting your body back to what it's meant to be. Cleaning out your body, getting rid of the ick, and doing that in such a way, and we can definitely help coach you to do it in such a way that's gentle. It respects your body. It allows you to move towards a more natural approach to how you support your body. I look at Plexus products, and I've referred to this before. Plexus is like a hammock that supports your body. All of those products allow your body to function the way they're supposed to function, and allows people to have health freedoms that they never had before. And one of the friends that I have is going to share her story, has really walked a hard road with her health. A lot of her story reminds me so much of my brother. And I think to myself, what if I had known about Plexus all those years ago? Could that have been the answer for what he was looking for? So I'm excited for you guys to hear from Alana. Her story is incredibly inspirational. And again, let me just tell you guys, every result that you hear, it's a personal story. I'm not making guarantees to you. Plexus is not making guarantees to you. Again, the products are what you make them, your consistency, your choice. So here we go, Ellen. I can't wait to hear your story.
Hey everyone, my name is Elena. Thank you, Jennifer. You have me in tears already. We talk about this community on how we were all together, and I just feel like we were truly brought together for a reason. And when I learned about your brother today, this was why we were brought together. So my story began when I was 18. I was blessed with a miracle and a second chance at life that God gave me an organ donor to save my life. May he rest in peace. I was 18 at the time, and I only had about 7 days to live. So it was a very tough time for me. Thankfully, my liver adapted to my body well, and I was doing great. The doctors had all told me, you're healthy, you're great, you're okay, your numbers are perfect. But I didn't feel that way. It was like my body was kind of just deteriorating, and I was blessed with a beautiful child. He was 4 at the time when Plexus came into my life. And I'll never forget the day that I clicked purchase, because it was after his 4th birthday party, and I didn't want to do anything big because I couldn't handle that. So I said, let me just have the family over for cake and coffee. We have a big Italian family, so even that was a lot for me. And I laid in bed at only 11:30, and I just sat there and thought, like, I can't do this anymore. I can't continue to always feel exhausted. And I had seen posts for about 3 months, and I said, you know what, let me try this. Let me just go in this, what if it really can change everything for me? And it really did just that. I took everything to my doctors because I was a huge, huge skeptic. The reason for my transplant was because medication damaged my body. So the last thing that I wanted to do was introduce something to my system that was going to harm me. I was so scared to try this. So I took everything to my transplant doctors, knowing he would say no after I just spent the money, because he said I couldn't take anything over the counter. I couldn't even take a multivitamin. And I said to him, can you please just read this for me? And he read all of the labels out loud to me and looked at me and said, wow, this is really good stuff. He said, this is the first time that I'm ever going to approve a supplement that a transplant patient brought in. There was residents in the room, and their jaws dropped, and my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. And I just was thinking, like, is this the answer to what's going to make me feel better? I had to take the medication for the rest of my life to weaken my immune system so it wouldn't fight my liver, as it would see it as a foreign object. I was constantly getting sick. It was a vicious cycle of every 2 weeks. My son would get sick, I would get sick. There was times I thought, should I have brought him into this life? Because all he's seeing is a mom who's sleeping. I would drop him off at preschool, and I couldn't wait to get home and nap, for that 3 hours. And then when my husband got home from work, I couldn't wait to go back to bed. So this was a blessing to me. And I know I had my second chance at life with my organ donor, and this is my third chance at life because my life was just really brought back. I didn't know the damage that my medications were doing to my body. My doctors had told me that I was at risk for diabetes, but I really didn't know what that meant. I just know I could not leave the store without picking up a Snickers bar. And that was my life on a daily basis, was just eating chocolate and candy. And, that's why I was interested in the pink drink, because I didn't want to have a future like that. I started learning more about gut health and realized why I was feeling the way I was feeling, because the medications were just damaging, that Band-Aid, fixing one thing but damaging another. And again, it was just a vicious cycle playing in me, saying, wow, I had a liver transplant because of medication, and now here I am having to take medication for the rest of my life. But Plexus really did help me. The glucose regulation, I am no longer craving those sugars. I don't drink soda anymore. I don't think I've had a Snickers bar in almost 3 years, and that's huge for me. So I was able to make healthier choices because of this. I was able to help my family. My son has his mom back. My husband has his wife back. And I just want to scream this from the rooftops, because I know that it can help anyone who just honestly gives it a try. Even if you're just really, really scared, just like I was, just go for it, because it can change everything for you, just like it did for me.
You are literally like the most beautiful human being in the whole wide world. Seriously, so genuine, so honest, and really sharing that story is, and it can't be easy.
No, this is the first time I've done it without crying, so thank you.
Hey, I wouldn't have minded a couple of tears. But anyhow, guys, some of us are going to come to Plexus because we need energy. Some of us are coming because maybe we're struggling with some sort of autoimmune issue. And then some of us come because we're at our end, just desperate to feel better. And I want you guys to know there is no such thing as a fountain of youth. There's no such thing as like that secret. We found the secret. This is about science. This is about, we know the body works this certain way, and let's help it do it better. That's what Plexus is about. We're not about something that's going to just cover up and mask all of these other things. All we're doing is getting rid of the Band-Aids. That's what's so special about Plexus. And not only for ourselves, but for our family. And when we make a difference for our family, that's when many of us begin sharing the products. And just so you know, when you share, this is not, oh, hey, you're going to make $2 when you share this product. No, this is incredible money that will absolutely cover your products and absolutely allow you to start setting goals, like paying a car payment, paying your house payment. These are real experiences. And if that's happened to you, throw that in the chat, because I'd love for people to see that this is honestly not just a couple people experiencing that. But when we make a difference for our family, we begin to share. And that's exactly what my friend Becca did. You are going to love her story. You're going to love what the Plexus is doing for her and her family. And after her story, we'll close this out. And I just want to thank each one of you for your time, and I hope you've been inspired. And Becca, here we go.
Am I good now? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. I'm Becca. Thank you, Becca Knack. Thank you, Jennifer, for asking me to do this. First off, I want to say that Paula talked me into trying Plexus. I did it for about 6 months, and you guys, I quit. Before I quit, though, I had went to the doctor, and he had said to me, he says, oh, wow, you must be, your numbers are starting to look a little better than they had. Not a whole lot, but a little bit better. My cholesterol, my blood sugar, and my blood pressure. They were improved enough that he said something. So something happened with my son medically, and we needed the money to take care of my son. And Paula really tried to tell me, come on, share Plexus, it'll help. But I just backed off, and I stopped taking it. Went back to the doctor, and they do my blood work. And he looked at me and he goes, what are you doing? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, your numbers are horrible. Your cholesterol is worse than it was before. Your blood pressure's up again. Your blood sugar's starting to creep back up. You're going to be pre-diabetic if you don't do something. He goes, but these numbers 6 months before looked better. What were you doing then that you're not doing now? And I sat there and I thought, maybe Plexus. And he goes, oh, those supplements you told me about? He says, get back on them. And I mean today. He goes, otherwise I'm going to be starting to put you on medications. So I did. I said, Paula, I'm going to start taking again. So I got my stuff back up and started taking Plexus again. Went a little bit through the detox, and I love Daphne's Celebrate the Detox. Paula's talked me through it. I was never really sick, but it was enough to go, what's going on? But that's going to be my term from now on. Celebrate that detox because it's getting you healthy. So I went forward and kept doing that. And then I had watching some of Jennifer's posts and some other team members' posts, and the community is absolutely fabulous because some of the people I started watching had children with Down syndrome. And so I kind of messaged this lady and said, hey, I have a son with Down syndrome. What do you think about Plexus for him? And she shared with me. Not even on the same team, but that's that community love. And that really showed me the love even more. So I started my son on Plexus. The only two people who knew was my husband and I. Guys, I'm sorry. My son was nonverbal, and when I say nonverbal, he said a handful of words, and that was about the extent of it. He never really wanted to try to communicate. So I started him real slowly because since he couldn't communicate, I didn't want him to have a lot of, or any detox that he couldn't express to me, any symptoms like that. And Paula, you were my rock with that. And a couple of the moms out there who had children with Down syndrome. So he started, there was the end of school in June, and he started going to his camp at the Y. And these people have known him for years and love him. And I walk in to pick him up, and he'd probably been taking this stuff. I had eased up a couple weeks, probably a month and a half. And I walk in and they go, Becca, Steve said today, play ball. Steve is like being so vocal. And I go, really? And I thought, don't jump off the gate yet, because maybe it's just one day and one person. So a couple weeks later, somebody else tells me he's saying more. The place where he volunteers says to me, Becca, I don't know what is with Stephen, but he is just a barrel of communicating. He's wanting to try to tell me things through sign. He's writing stuff. He's saying more words. He's being vocal. You guys, I waited 20 years for that. 20 years. I wish I had known about Plexus a long time ago, because I don't know where my son would be had he got his gut healthy before. He communicates with me now. He comes home and he'll tell me about what he kind of did during the day, especially if I get a note from his community day program. If they give me a little bit of information what he does, I ask him about it and we communicate. We talk. He says more words, but it's the communication. He signs, he gestures, he writes what he's wanting to say, and Jennifer's right. That's when I went, I've got to start sharing this stuff. Yes, it helped me, and it's got my blood work better. I convinced my husband to start, and his blood sugars are better now. He is already on the pill for diabetes, but our doctor said that if he keeps his blood sugars down, he may get off the pill. I'm so excited. So I'm sharing this stuff with people. I did have one of the people that joined underneath me come up to me, and this made me even almost as happy as my son's story. And she says, Becca, my doctor took me off my diabetic pill. He told me I no longer have diabetes. And she was jumping up and down and just beaming, and God's screaming at me. One last thing, Jennifer, when you told us to pick a word, I thought long and hard, and I said to Paula, Paula, I can't come up with a word. I don't know. And she said, God will speak to you. God will tell you your word. I'm like, oh, okay, Paula, whatever. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to get a word. And for some reason, fearless started showing up in my head. And so I have really jumped off this year being fearless with sharing Plexus. I tell my friends, don't hate me. I'm just trying to tell you how good your life will be with gut health. I can't tell you how it'll do for you, but it's amazing. And yeah, the money is good, but my two favorite things are what the products have done for my family and for my friends and for people that I'm sharing them with, and the community. The money's just a little extra thing there. I mean, yes, it's great because I need it, but that's not the reason I share. And I tell people that because I've shared with a couple people who went and joined with somebody else, and I'm still happy for them because they're getting their gut healthy.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, having you close this out, I honestly shouldn't say anything. Is anybody else like bawling their eyes out? And
I'm
all
sorry.
the comments were exploding, because that is what we do. That alone, the bravery to share the products, all of those domino effects that led to her son's story. It's incredible. So again, just remember that when you think about Plexus, hook back up with the person that invited you to this, or go back to your upline and say, that really encouraged me. I think I'm ready to start sharing. We do this to make a difference in the world around us. We don't do this because it's going to cure anyone. We don't do this because it's going to change somebody completely and totally. We promise you that 100%. We do it because we believe that it's the right thing to do. So we share the love, we share the joy, because Plexus is about health and happiness. Again, get back with the person that invited you to this, and in February, be prepared that you might be invited to a health and happiness tour event coming to a city near you. Thanks again for all of your time, for all of the testimonies. You ladies are incredible. I'm gonna go find a box of tissues, and we'll do this again January 27th. Good night, guys.